Hello, it's Rob Watson, and this is Friday, the 17th of August. And I thought I'd record and share a quick vlog because tomorrow I'm going to Ghana in West Africa, which is a place I've never been to before. I've never been to Africa before, so I'm really kind of nervous and but at the same time very excited. I'm going for a trip to with the support of De Montfort University to meet some people at Ho Technical University to talk about community radio, radio production, and sustainable development, and how we might form some links and kind of collaboration projects and help each other to understand things like social development and social change through the use of media, radio, online forms of media, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to going. It's a chance I never thought I would get to undertake. And my knowledge of Ghana is very limited, and I've kind of deliberately kept it that way. Usually, what I end up doing is like months of research beforehand and guidebooks and things like that, and watching things on YouTube. And this time, I kind of thought, you know what, actually, to let it unfold and see what it might be that I discover. Um, and of course, it will be different than I would expect, and there'll be many things there that are very alien to me, but which are probably joyous and amazing. So really, kind of look that there's lots of challenges as well, and it's not a holiday. We hope to be talking with and to some of the students at Ho Technical University, finding out what their aspirations are, what they hope to achieve, how they maybe view the chance to study in the UK and in Leicester, and what they view things. I'm keen to find out in terms of things like how they view climate change and what they can do about that, and what kind of issues about sustainability, and how they view the use and the organisation of media as a kind of grassroots, community-led, sustainable development process that can help them to communicate and get ideas across and discuss things and challenge if it's needed, but mainly to kind of improve. I think is the useful way to encourage people to engage in debate and participation. So for me, it's going to be, I'm going to keep a video diary. I think I'll record my thoughts as I go along. I've got a little action camera, or I've got my phone, that kind of thing. I'm not sure what kind of Wi-Fi and data access I'll have. Probably better than here at home, to be honest with you, but we'll see. And I will endeavour to post a regular blog and give an account of what I've been up to, what the travelling's been like, what the people are like, what my impressions are, and really kind of what kind of things come to mind in terms of a need to encourage our further integration of sustainable development priorities, and the UN 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, how they can be embedded within more closely within media courses, so that it's not media courses have become in many ways a kind of stepping stone into a job that's already been outlined in a media industry, kind of a skills focus, that kind of thing. And I kind of more interested in the idea that grassroots led community media, engagement with communities and by communities and through communities, is something that we should see as a right to produce and contribute towards our own locally defined media priorities in our own hands, run by people who live in the same streets and areas that we live in, It was interesting this evening on the BBC 6 o'clock news that Birmingham City Council is asking people how we can integrate communities within Birmingham, because people feel there's a feeling that people are living segregated lives, and that kind of the multicultural model, if you like, that we've used in the UK for maybe the last 30 years has reached the limit of its usefulness because people are living separate lives. Well, we have a platform for this. It's called Community Media. There are over 250 community radio stations in the UK, and so we should be investing in the skills and the capabilities and the debate and the independence from the state. We should be investing in those things. One thing that was interesting earlier in the week was I wrote a piece and shared it on my blog at decentered.co.uk about the government's the launch of the government's civic engagement strategy, and they've tweaked the description of what has in the past been called the third sector. It's a very kind of patronising phrase of, you have the public sector, the private sector, and then there's this third sector. Well, they've actually, I think it's quite good actually. I mean, all praise to a government that I'll probably never vote for, but they've called it the social sector, and that's the idea of bringing together civic participation groups, community groups, charities, social organisations, to really develop a kind of which is probably something which has passed most people by, which is the Social Value Act from 2012, which actually, and I know very little about this, one of the things I want to do is do some reading about it, is the local authorities and government departments and service providers have to give regard to whether civic organisations, not-for-profit organisations, community interest companies, charities could provide a service when it's commissioned, rather than it being necessarily private organisations and private companies or necessarily public service organisations. What has come through on the new strategy, though, is that this needs to be strengthened. So rather than just having regard to this, they have to actually take it into account, and they have to be more active in developing services. So for me, things like media, this is a really great opportunity for people in community media, because it means that our communications model, which local authorities, health services, large organisations that provide public services, it's generally a commercial model, and there's a lot of dysfunction in newspapers at the moment and radio stations commercial radio stations at the moment, and there's a kind of commercial drive to reduce costs and have fewer people working and providing less of a locally defined service. Well, the community sector, the community radio sector, the community media movement, if you like, is at the heart of local broadcasting, local communications, local representation, local civic engagement. But it does it in a way which is based on local people themselves producing content which is relevant to them. So I feel that it's kind of, if some of that funding can be diverted and shifted more toward an investment in community media, then I think we'll notice some differences over time. It's a longer process. It's not going to happen overnight. So they're two things that have been interesting for that I've touched on this week. So obviously I'm pretty excited about going tomorrow. Got an early taxi start, and it's going to be interesting. I've never flown by British Airways yet, so that's a first, and I'm sure that the reception and the welcome that we'll get in Ghana will be really nice. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'll try and keep some vlogs going, 10 minutes long each. And if I can get the chance to post them on a regular basis, I will do. If not, I'll post them up as soon as I get back. But see you soon.